Hi and welcome back to George's Gaming Guide. So this is another video that comes under the Dad Build playlist. I hope you've seen my other two videos, which was the Chiron and the Scion. So we're staying with the car theme, but changing the type of vehicle this time. So we're actually gone for the Lego Technic Land Rover Defender. It's based on the 2019 version of this vehicle and was actually developed in partnership with Land Rover. It's an impressive size, so it's 43 centimetres long and 22 centimetres high, which includes the roof rack. And there were some very nice designs on this. So there's the original design of the rims with some high gripping tyres. The front doors actually open up, and inside you'll find a detailed dashboard, a steering wheel that works, and something they introduced on this model in 2019. Which is was the most sophisticated Lego Technic gearbox. And it actually has two levers, so you can choose high or low gear ratios. Also, you have forward fold-in rear seats. This allows you to actually view the gearbox, which is quite nice because on the previous models it's all contained under bodywork, so it's nice to be able to have that feature. Under the bonnet, you'll find an inline 6-cylinder engine. And again, they've put the moving pistons in it, so that's going to be quite good to see. It's actually an all-wheel drive vehicle, and there's 3 differentials you can use, so again, it's quite impressive the way they've been able to engineer that in. It's got independent suspension on both axles. They've actually put a working winch on it as well. The tailgate will open, and I believe you actually do that through using the spare wheel to activate the latch on it, so it's nice. It's just not just a pull open piece of bodywork. And then finally you have the removable roof rack, which will include a storage box, pannier, ladder and some traction mats. So looking forward to building this. As I'll do an in-depth review at the end of this video, and George will actually do a review of the finished model as well. So without further ado, let's get building. Right, so just before I get started, I wanted to show the small manual that you get with this build. There's actually quite a lot of parts to each section as well, because when you look at the build, they've actually only split into 4 sets of bags. So there's going to be a lot on the table at any one time. So it's going to be interesting. Looking forward to this build. So let's get started. So this is the finished model, and as I say, I think you'll agree with me. Looking at it, sat there, it's instantly recognisable as what it's supposed to be. The design of this that Lego have done with Land Rover, I think has just worked really well. I mean, the looks of it are brilliant. You know, like I say, it's instantly recognisable. The lines of the body of the car, the front of the car with the grille and the bonnet and the lights, the back of the car, whichever way you look at it, you can't help but know it's a Land Rover. So this is actually based on the 2019 Land Rover Defender. I think the green colour just works really well with this as well. Not without its faults. There is an issue with the gearbox, but I'll come to that when we get under the bonnet. But for starters, I'll take you around the outside of the car and the features it's got on it. So we'll start off with the side, with the wheels. So it's got bespoke wheel rims, which I think look amazing on this car. The actual tyres are the same as you find on the Chiron and the Scion, but the rims are really nice. The door is the classic shape, both the doors open. Very clunky wing mirrors like on the real car. So when we come to the roof, you actually got a removable roof rack. It's easy to remove, a bit awkward to get back in. It's only 4 pins holding it. You have the pannier on the side, which I think is in the real car would be where your first aid kits and everything go, and that's Land Rover branded. You have a storage box on the top, which is removable. As I say, you could put something in there if you like, but it's on display, so it's not that worried about that. Also on the top, you have these panels here, which in the real car would actually be for if you're off-roading. So if you get stuck, you can actually put them below the tyres to get the traction. So I think it's just a nice feature to have in there to show that's on there. On the other side of it, you have a drop-down ladder as well to help you get to the top of the vehicle. And I think that just works really nice. I say you can take it off, but I think it just adds to it having the roof rack on top. You will have noticed that we've got this. Sorry. You will have noticed it's got this wheel on the top. Now that's actually designed to make this a bit more of a playable set. Now I wouldn't use it myself. I was actually tempted to take it off because I think it doesn't quite look right, but it does allow you to steer the car either using the steering wheel on the inside or actually on the outside. So if someone did want to use this as something to play with, it just makes it a bit easier to play with it. But as I say, I am tempted to take that off. Also on the outside of it, so let's go to the boot. So I really like the features done on the boot. So you've got the spare wheel on the back, and the spare wheel is actually the locking mechanism to open the boot. And inside the boot, you'll see it's got the gearbox. You can actually lift the back seats as well to give you better access to the gearbox, which I think is quite a nice feature. But again, it just looks really nice, and so I'm not sure how well you'll pick that up on the camera. But there's a lot of gears in there. The gearbox itself is actually a 4-speed gearbox. You've got high and low ratios, and then you've got the gear stick for forward and reverse motion. The selection for me doesn't really work. I don't think it's the way I've put it together. I think all the models I have that have a gearbox in them, they work to a degree, but yeah, it's more representative than actually being a sort of the proper gearings or anything. But it's nice that you've got that function to be able to go through them. But yeah, it's just nice. So I'll talk about the gearbox a bit more when we get to the inside. And then if you move to the front of the vehicle, so under the bonnet we've got the straight 6 engine that you get in the Land Rover. Now it does have working pistons. They do work, but not in all gears. And I think to get mine to work, it's actually got to be in reverse to get them to work properly. So, like I said, I don't think I've put it together incorrectly. I may have done, but that's just what I'm finding with the gearbox in this. But it's a nice feature that you can get them to move. The other thing you got under the engine is the controls for the winch. So you have a little winch on the front. Got a lever here which allows you to pull the winch out, and then you've got I don't know how well you'll see it, but there's actually a small cog here which you turn around so you can winch it back in. So again, for playability, I think it's a nice feature. You know, it's nice it's on there, and as I say, if you set up a scene or anything for display, it'd work really well. I think if you could sort of have a mock of it going up, I think there's that classic picture of it going up the dam, so you could actually, I think this would actually be strong enough to do it, so I'm quite impressed by that. Then on the inside, I say it's, close that back up. So on the inside, I say it's quite basic inside. I say it's not an expensive set, so that might be the reason for that. You've actually got 3 gear modules, so you've got a forward and reverse, so I tend to keep it in reverse because that's where the engine works best. You've got high and low gear ratio, which does actually change the gearing on the back. And then you've got a rotation dial for the 4 gears that are in the car, like you would have in the actual car. So it's, again, very nice detail. I say it's nice to have those functions. So I wouldn't say they work all that well, but it's a good representation as to what the car does. I say price-wise, I think it's very good. I know it's not everyone's dream car, but for the price of, I think I got this for £110, which is, well, you're looking at a third of the price of the Chiron and the Cyan, and yeah, it's not much smaller. Yes, you haven't got some of the details on it, but it's very, very good value. I mean, it's 2,600 pieces pretty much, and it's a lot of Lego for the money you pay. Now I know there's a lot of small Technic pieces in there, so that'll bring it down, but I think for the price, yeah, it's definitely worth having a look at. The other thing that's unbelievable for the price, and I say compared to most Lego models that I've used, is just how strong it is. It's extremely well built. I mean, I don't think there's any other model we've got that I'd literally go up to it and feel comfortable doing this. And I apologise for this because the camera will move, but and nothing falls off. It's just so well made. I mean, the suspension works really well. I just can't say how much I admire the way they put the build quality into this. I say it's not the best looking set. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the Land Rovers, but for people that are, I think it's an amazing representation. I think it does look great on the shelf. I say I'm probably going to try and find a way to sort of make it a bit more interesting on display with put on an angle or something. But yeah, if you get the chance, I would definitely recommend this. And I say don't forget to check out George's review on this. As I say it's probably a bit more concise, and yeah, I think definitely worth having a look to get his viewpoints on this compared to mine. If you haven't already, check out the Lamborghini Cyan and the Bugatti Chiron. As I say, a couple of the older builds I did, but they are fantastic models. And I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing next. As I say, I've got the Batmobile coming up, but that'll probably be on George's channel. So, as I keep looking back, subscribe to George, and as I say, we'll see you again in the future. Thank you very much.